A deadly police shooting in Norfolk was justified. The Commonwealth's attorney just announced that ruling today. 13 News Now investigative reporter Laura Geller joins us with new images from the body camera of the officer who shot a Navy sailor last year.
Well, today the Commonwealth's attorney's office announced last July's shooting was not only justified, but the officer had a sworn duty to protect in this instance. In the review, investigators say a sailor crashed her car into her husband's car near Naval Station Norfolk. Officials just released these pictures to help explain their ruling. The report says these two show India Nelson pull out a gun as officers questioned her and her husband about the crash. The weapon is circled in red. Police say then Nelson ran toward her husband and shot at her husband, hitting him once. This image shows her husband on the ground and another police officer near Nelson's husband as Nelson fired her weapon. That's when the officer who had been talking with Nelson pulled out his weapon and told Nelson to stop. When she didn't, the officer shot her. The Commonwealth's attorney says the officer's sworn duty forced him to protect Nelson's husband, the police officer near the line of fire, and other citizens. He ruled the officer acted appropriately. Laura Geller, 13 News Now.